I know I can't fight 100 men,
Mm-hmm.
but the first 2 motherfuckers that I catch, oh, they gonna be on a t-shirt. After the first 2 hit the dirt, the next wave gonna hesitate. And that's when I turn strategic. No more swinging wild. Now I'm doing math.
All right, everybody. Hey, what's up with this? There's no... there we go. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, welcome to the weekly announcements, everybody. My name's Raman Wukong. We're broadcasting live out of Portland, Oregon this week as opposed to Las Vegas from last week. And this is your weekly Bitoreum update. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us with metrics and saturation. Don't donate. We are not a donation-based channel. Hello. Happy Sunday to you as well. Buying from our official store, S-Mart CC, is the best and only way to support us financially. That's right. Shop Smart, shop S-Mart, and let us jump right into it. So we are looking at 28 divided by 4 days later from the initial release. 4.0.2 St. John's the Woods is live and has been going very, very well. If you have been paying attention, we did remove all 4.0.1 release stuff. There were some critical bugs in there, and that is not available anymore. We've gotten rid of it. Even in the releases, it's all gone. We're only on 4.0.2 going forward. It is live for all of these operating systems and platforms. We are good to go there. We've had pretty good adoption from both the community, pools, certain exchanges. We'll get into that a little bit later. The big news this week is obviously, for those paying attention, the website has been massively updated. This announcement will go on later. You know, it's always the week previous's update for those of you who can't tune in live. So obviously, Bitoreum.cc is our new address. Got a whole new vibe, refresh. Kind of based it on the old one that looked obviously just with a upgraded look, feel, and everything like that. These are the exchanges that support us, the aggregators. We actually have more aggregators. These are just the ones that I know work today. Shout out to CoinGecko for removing the old Bitoreum.org URL. Thank you so very much. That prevents potential scams in the future. Some company in China owns that domain. I can't do anything about it, at least for the next year. They tried to auction it off for a lot of money, and I didn't buy it, and I just kind of waited to see what was going to happen, and it looks like nobody bought it. Also, shout out to, please forgive me if I mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry, Xbitron, right? Congratulations for opening back up. I'm glad to hear you guys are back in the mix. I still haven't taken a look at these guys, but we'll talk about them later. Shout out to you guys and you guys. Thank you so very much for supporting us this far. We've got a roadmap here that'll take you through the end of the year. I'll be updating that in Q4 to reflect changes for the next coming year. You can always join our community now. It'll follow our GitHub, our Discord, this YouTube channel, Blue Sky, and Twitter. All those accounts are valid. Our Explorer works, right? So if we close that and we come over here, boom, all these links work. Wallet will take you to the release page. Documents and white papers will take you to this page, which will have the official white paper where you can get it here, Apple Books, Amazon. Draft to Digital is coming soon. Smartnode setup, right now we only have the EPUB version and the PDF version. I'm making a new PDF version. It was supposed to be out today, but I didn't get home till 5 o'clock last night, so that didn't get out. And the one that's there looks ugly. It works, but it looks ugly, I'm not going to lie. That's coming out this next week too. And of course, the one-click compiler that will allow you to compile our core wallet with basically the click of a button. Explorer still holding strong, thank you. Some of you noticed that the Explorer appeared to go down. It didn't. It was due to lockdown on accident. I have been working on site metrics to get this boosted, so that way we get boosted high in Google simply by search ranking, doing everything that they want. The biggest thing is obviously these scores right here. We've got 100 on performance, 93 on accessibility, awesome, 96 on best practices, and 100 on SEO. Accessibility and best practices, they're both suffering from the same problem. They want me to use newer, lighter images. Right now, I'm just using PNGs, which are a bit heavy. So that's what we've been working on heavy. Obviously, the release is going well. The main GitHub is still savagely. Thank you so very much for one-starring us. I think it was Zergpool. Let's see who that was. Yeah, Zergpool. Thank you guys so much for the support. It means a lot. Um, really, this is a community-driven project now. I'm just the gorilla in charge, more or less. So let's move on. We've got the website refresh. The documents are coming. Next week we will not be doing live broadcast. We will have another video and the announcement of a contest. Right. For those that aren't in America, next weekend is 4th of July weekend, and for my family, that's basically like Christmas. We do a lot of eating, getting together, and then as the night falls, we watch fireworks and we get shit-faced drunk. That's what we do, and it's pretty fun. So that weekend's going to be rough for me, so I'm not going to even try to get out of bed on a hangover. What I am going to do is I'll be making a video that will be a walkthrough video for how to set up a Smartnode. It has been the most requested thing in my DMs, everything. So yeah, that video is coming and it'll be released next Sunday, as well as a promotion. I will be giving away at least one Smartnode, or rather, I will be giving away the 1.8 million Bitoreum needed to set up a Smartnode. And there might be multiples in that. Right now, the framework is just I'm giving away one based on conditions. Those conditions will be live on the website, and the video will go live next Sunday at 2 p.m. or there and abouts. YouTube makes it a bit more difficult to release videos that way. All right, so what's next? Yes. And with that, I was asked about some of the goofy videos that I do on Shorts, and I think it was on Reddit where somebody was like, hey, you're pretty knowledgeable about Linux. Can you do like how-to guides that are like basic for Linux? And then, you know what? That actually probably makes a lot of sense for this project. I rely very heavily on Linux for things like the Smartnode utilization. Hell, even my own main wallet runs on Linux. Most of my wallets run on Linux for security reasons, ease of use reasons, and I'm just an avid Linux user. So in that vein, why not? So I think I will either start doing weekly or bi-weekly, short little how-to videos, getting people familiar with Linux. PewDiePie and that other guy has done an amazing job driving people over to Mint Linux, so I think that's a pretty good start. Let's start there. Let's get people familiar with Linux, and let's get going. Okay, that is our weekly announcements, and I think I did that 8 minutes. 8 minutes, there we go. So let us switch over, right? Go back to you. Let's switch over to the Q&A section. We have a fair amount of Q&As, and since it's the Q&A time, give me a quick bit. We are going to get our whiskey. Ooh, I love Steel Ice. I'm just going to say it. It is just really nice. Doesn't make your whiskey all watery. Hibiki whiskey. So good, so good. Yeah, Lint Minix is pretty good. It's one of my favorite distros overall. I know that it is designed to capture like new users, but the reality is it's full Linux, and it's probably one of my favorite Debian children clones, whatever you want to call it, out there. Ubuntu for server headless operations is pretty good, and the fact that it has ARM support, that is probably my go-to. But yeah, Mint Linux or Linux Mint, whichever you want to call it, is probably one of my more favorite distros all around, and I've been using it for everything except a couple of servers. All right, we got some interesting Q&As this week. The first one is a pretty big one. What do you have to say about the execs situation? Nothing good. They hit me for 500,000 Bitoreum, which is what I deposited with them to try to do some trades, and then found out that they had suspended the market anyway. They wanted me to deposit 2 or 400 USDT to restore the liquidity pools that Marius, I believe, had set up. And I kindly declined until they would reduce their withdrawal fees. And during those talks, that's when I saw the notice that I posted in our Discord about them shutting down. And yeah, so they froze the 500K that I deposited, as with everybody else's, and they're not giving it back. I don't know any more than that at this point in time, so I can't say much more than that. I think what they were doing was pretty shitty. That's all I can really say about it. This one actually came from the Bitoreum Discord. Trade Ogre and Bitoreum, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, are they moving to the new wallet? Trade Ogre is sitting on the fence. We are a low volume token, and they are a by the numbers kind of organization, and I respect that a lot. I might switch over. Yeah, let me switch over to the main again, even though that we are in the Q&A. So while there has been a bunch of movement over here, I'm not gonna lie, probably about half of that is me, and that's because I've been buying up Bitoreum in exchange for Litecoin. I would like to run multiple promotions. The Smartnode giveaway promotion is the first of a few promotions I would like to get to drum up more interest in the coin, and I was using Trade Ogre for 2 reasons, and I want to be very clear. They do not sponsor these videos. They do not partner with me. They've opened a dialogue with me, and it has been very successful, and thank you so very much for that. I respect your wishes going forward, and until we can show numbers. So on that note, anybody who's watching this video, if you want to make trades, go hit up Trade Ogre. Since they're a buying the numbers company, let's give them numbers, right? And I don't mind in the future, probably at about quarter 3 of this year, investing money into a new liquidity pool to possibly open up a new trade pair. I know that they do Bitoreum and Litecoin, maybe doing a USDT, although I'm not particularly in favor of them, mostly because of the high transaction fees, but whatever. We'll leave it open. Go ahead and drop a comment in this video or any of my other videos if you would like to see a particular trade pair, and join our Discord. Let's have a discussion about it. I'm not opposed to it, just that is going to have to come more towards the end of this year when money's a little bit better. Same thing with Bitoreum. They already have 2 pools open, and they are ready to go today. They do Bitoreum and USDT and Bitoreum and Bitcoin. Low volume on this, and obviously low volume on that, but there are definitely more trades available. I was looking at these guys, Cradex. I have them listed on the website as exchanges. I just haven't done any trading here, and I probably should because I have a fair amount of BTCZ, and it looks like there's a decent amount of volume. I don't know what this equates to, and I don't even have an account. I've just been kind of looking at them like, this is kind of cool. But here's where you're going to have your best pair options today. I haven't used them. Don't rush out and even try to do this. Do your due diligence before you send anything. I know nothing about these guys other than they do have us as a trade token, and for quite a few pairs. We have Bitoreum and BTC, Bitoreum and Bitcoin Z, Bitoreum and Cradex, which I think is their own token, Bitoreum and Doge, which I was kind of interested in, Bitoreum and Litecoin, which is a very popular trade token, very comparable, it looks like, to what Trade Ogre has. I think a little bit higher, which is what it is, and of course Bitoreum and USDT. So there are trade pairs available there. I think it only shows you data. This might be old data. I think it only shows you up to the minute data when you log in. I don't know. I don't know enough about this particular site. It looks interesting. I just haven't played around with it, right? So let's go back here and dump into the Q&A screen. So that's what I have to say officially on that. Bitoreum has basically said, hey, if your wallet works, transactions work, and it doesn't FRS up, we will support it. Of course, they said it more politely and more diligently. I got a mouth on me because I was a 20-year chef. Thank you guys so very much for supporting our project. Trade Ogre has taken the far more conservative and staunch approach. Hey, numbers, my dude. We will support you, but the numbers got to show it. That's fair. That's probably the fairest response I've gotten from anybody that it's not really a no. It's not a yes, it's not a no, but it's probably the fairest response I've gotten out of anybody. Next question. What is the transparency model that you have mentioned? So the transparency model was based off of the fact that there is a developer fee baked into the Bitoreum coin. Now, I did look at removing it, but removing it versus forking it over into a wallet that I can control was actually more destructive based on the code that I have available to me. It would either take a complete rewrite of the code, so we decided I decided to fork the fee over into a wallet I can control. Once that consensus fork happens, and if it's accepted by the network, then I will make the address publicly available for you to see on our website. Following that will be no greater than quarterly reports on what that fee has gone to, even if that fee just sits in the wallet and does nothing. Short term, it will probably help us pay for things like seed nodes, which I need to pay for, and initially all of that's going to come out of my actual pocket, or rather one of my business's pockets. And it would be nice to get some kind of recompense for that back to offset that, so I'm not paying for everything out of pocket, and this project can be self-sustaining. More long term, though, I would like to use that fee to pay developers to help me recode this project. Right now, it's just me. As I have alluded to in the past, there are friends of mine that have been like, hey, I can help you with this one thing, but I got my own shit going on, bro. Like, I'll help you, but you're kind of on your own. Right? And it's been a project. And I thank you guys so very much for that. Don't take that as me trying to trivialize the amount of help. You guys have done an amazing job to help me. But yes, you have your own lives and your own shit to worry about. Thank you, seriously, genuinely from the bottom of my heart. But yes, I do need that money to pay developers in the future, right? Because I think that is the best path forward. So that's what the transparency model is basically, since the development fee is going to stay, I think the best resolve is to stay transparent about what that is going to go for. Agreed? Agreed? Agreed. What is your obsession with the NAS you keep talking about? Okay, so in February, March of this year, I moved into my new office and I had a shitload of computers, and I thought building a NAS would be the way to go, and I had a couple of parts laying around to do it, including several $1,000s worth in hard drives that the power supply on the first one that I built took a giant shit in the middle of trying to build it and fried damn near everything that it was connected to. Thermaltake did give me a rebate check for a lot of the damage, and they sent me out a new power supply on a warranty RMA. And I just got it this week. That's why I was talking about a lot in Discord, and it finally is up and operational. It's nowhere as big as the first one would have been. This one only has 10.3 terabytes in usable space with only one 4 terabyte drive as redundancy, and the first one was supposed to be 20 terabyte hard drives, but it is what it is, and hard drives are expensive. Right? Yes, agreed on the development fee. Transparency is gonna be the way that we're going forward. Next question. Yeah, so the NAS thing is more just me. And I'm sorry. What is the NAS for? The NAS is for making long-term cold storage of projects that I'm working on, including the Bitoreum project, right? Like, so yes, I use GitHub to store the code and backups of the code, hence branches. But I also like keeping local storage of projects, and Bitoreum isn't the only project that I or my companies represent or deal with. So the NAS was just a way to deal with that. And so basically, we've been operating without any backups, any data storage. It's all basically on a handful of machines, and that absolutely needed to change. So that's what that is. Next question. What do the shorts that you do have to do with crypto? Right now, nothing. That was just kind of something I started doing because I started noticing that just posting random shit was drawing more attention to the channel overall. And realistically, as a brand new channel, that's what I need. So I figured just short, dumb stuff that people kind of vibe with was the way to go. So sometimes you're going to see where I eat lunch, which is really a grocery store. It's a bougie grocery store that has a balcony. Sometimes it's going to be my dog. Sometimes it's going to be where I'm eating breakfast because I go between Vegas and Portland a lot, mostly for work. So sometimes I'm in one, sometimes in the other. My dog is very photogenic. She's a 8 pound cute little black Pomeranian, and people love her to death. What do they have to do with crypto? Not a damn thing. What are your plans for social media outreach? Ooh, that's a good question. Organic social media is hard and difficult. Kind of that feeds into the last thing that I said. So the last bit was about why the shorts. I need more social media outreach. Realistically, this project probably needs a social media manager, but see the point about the dev fee not already being in place. Everything requires me paying out of pocket, and out of the several $1,000s that the NAS set me back, and I lost another machine that the power supply failed in that one at the same time. My business is operating on we can pay for our own shit, but we cannot pay for your extra project stuff. So, long term, yes, I think we do need a social media manager. I have had a couple of people with significant followers reach out to me, uh, but it's just not in the budget right now. Maybe at the end of summer, we can get that going. Um, we'll see. Uh, I know that it was suggested that Rabid Mining might be interested in us now that we're back. Um, I don't know. I would like to think that it is. It has not been well received on their Discord, or maybe they just don't like me. I don't know. But it might be worth if somebody has a connect out to Rabid Mining. That would be awesome. Say, hey, Bitoreum's back. We've done some upgrades, and we really could use the actual mining community support, not just the wallet holder support. And on that note, too, I will be making mining videos in the future because effectively all the Bitoreum stuff is gone and needs to be remade from scratch. But the big one is the Smartnode, as I said in the main announcements. That's coming next week. Pretty sure Rabbit is still running Bitoreum nodes. Oh, I'm pretty sure he is too. But there haven't been any like big mining updates, right? All the pools have still been operating fairly well, except those that use auto exchange features because of XEgg, X, however you say it. A lot of them were using them for auto exchange purposes, and that had to change. And I think with XBitRun coming back online now is going to help with that. But yeah, I just don't know how to reach out to Rabid. I don't have that connect, right? We have crossed paths in the past. He probably doesn't remember me because he is a very mining focused person, and I am a very meme and shit talking focused person. So we don't really run in the same circles. Plus, I'm more in development than he is in mining, right? So our paths don't really run. Anybody that can hook us up, yes, absolutely. I would love a video on Bitoreum being back, would help a lot. But that's kind of where the social media thing is. Else outside of that, it's all organic. And unfortunately, I hate Twitter. I only got it because Trade Ogre. There, I said it. That was the whole reason. Trade Ogre uses Twitter as their main connection point for support, and I needed to get a hold of them to at least open a dialogue about the wallet situation. And I do use it, but I've just right now I've got a good algo over there. It's mostly crypto stuff, and I like it, but very quickly that can devolve into toxic crap that I just didn't. It was the reason why I left Twitter in the first place, outside of getting kicked off of my main account years ago. So, last question that I have from the previous questions that were built up: will you ever stop talking in memes? As the great Bugs Bunny once said, no. It's a big part of my patois. I've always talked in memes and sarcasm and snark. I'm a North Portlander by birth. Right, I'm so North Portland. I was born in the Adidas factory, and for anybody who doesn't understand that joke, go look at where the North American headquarters for Adidas is. That was the hospital I was born in because that's what it used to be. So that's how North Portland I am. And North Portlanders originally were known for a couple of things: their inability to drink Ireland under the table, snark, and sarcasm. So talking in memes, yeah, that's here to stay. Okay. That takes care of all the questions that I had either DM'd to me or, and it looks like I see you, Scoffar. I hope I said that right. Not trying to butcher people's names. I read names all the time, but it never like clicks like the pronunciation side of me. But if there are any questions now, I open it up to the YouTube chat. This is the Q&A section. If you have any questions that want to be addressed, please speak them now because like I said, next week we will not be doing a live video. It will be the recorded video for how to set up a Smartnode. So yeah, if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them. Else we are going to close out the video because it looks like we're approaching 25 minutes. I know I had a lot of weird questions. I had a lot more questions, and been getting a lot more Scuffer, Scafer. And no worries. Yeah, the whole point of doing these weekly updates, I think one of the things that Marius really dropped the ball on is he relied so heavily on organic. Yeah, yeah, me too. I was into Bitoreum. I was one of the OGs in there as well. I was very early on into the Bitoreum project, and I kind of became buddy buddy with Marius, mostly because of my ability to talk shit. And I was the one that did his how to use his exchange video. So if you've seen that video floating around about how to use the Bitoreum exchange, that was me. He asked me to do it, and I've been with the project for a while, and then he up and disappeared. And I have my theories why. I've said some of them before. Um, but yeah, enough about that. But yeah, I was in Bitoreum and I was kind of sad to see it go. And then somebody told me that the Bitoreum.org domain was down, which means the Explorer is down. And with a down Explorer, exchanges are less likely to deal with any coin. So the primary goal was, could we fork Bitoreum to modern OSs? And if we could, then I would work on restoring the Explorer. And clearly both of those things happen. Oh yeah, I'm sure. If you were a long time, you absolutely watched the video because Marius promoted the shit out of it. This is one of the few things he did promote was that video, and I think he was always hesitant on his accent. He had a very thick Eastern European accent, so I think that was one of the reasons why he didn't do a lot of these videos because these videos are normally recepted very well to either American English accents or British American accents. Or I'm sorry, British English accents. Sorry, not British American. Um, Outside of that, YouTube has a bad habit and probably unintentionally bigoted habit of kind of demonetizing or not promoting videos that are not English friendly, which kind of sucks because I've seen a couple videos that are like for Thai by Thai people and they get deplatformed because, oh, well, it's not in English. It wasn't designed for English speaking people, but that's YouTube, and I think that's why. So he kind of always sat back and just didn't really do anything. So, but yeah, okay. If there are no more questions, I'm gonna get I think there's like a 30-second delay. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We're just about 30 minutes. The announcements were under 10. I want to make it clear we try to keep the announcements under 10, keeping it up into the Q&A, and our Q&A sections have been getting longer and longer. And I think a lot of that has to do with I accept DMs from damn near everybody. As long as you keep it 100 and G and your intentions pure. Obviously, I'm not looking to date. I'm not looking to get a mail order bride, right? Like the shit that I get DM'd. You as well, my friend. You have a great rest of your day as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And but yeah, so if you all have a question, obviously it'll be 2 weeks worth of questions. So I suspect there will be a lot more. As always, so look for the static video on how to do a smart node next Sunday. The Sunday after that, we're gonna come back because of the holiday. Until then, have a great, wonderful day. Thank you so very much for all your support. I love y'all. I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day. Good night.